Good Wednesday to you. I've had a few people over the last couple of days email asking questions about what our response is to the new directives as a church. And so I'm going to ask you to stick with me here. This video is going to be a little bit longer, but I want to talk a little bit about where we've landed and why we've landed in the place that we're landed in. And if you stick around to the end, I think it'll be worth it to you. So I hope to not bore you too much here this afternoon. We know we're all living at a very challenging time. It's challenging being a parent, kids at home, homeschooling, trying to get them online and keep up with the homework and all that. I get it. We get it with, schools and being a teacher, and we get it with businesses and the pressure on small businesses and just all the different layers and nuances to what we're experiencing in the moment. My challenge right now is that I just encourage us, how do we want to respond to the growing sense of right now there doesn't seem to be light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, we just don't have any idea. There's so much ambiguity again toward knowing when things are going to get back to somewhat of a normal. And so how do we get through this challenging time? I just want to encourage us. I think the best way we do it is we do it together. We are better together. So let's rally. Let's see this as a rallying point. Crisis has a way of bringing us together. So that's what I'm praying for and I'm believing for, that we'll get through this together. We are better together. And so let's be an encouragement. Let's be hopeful. Let's be supporting of one another and in our community. There's so many different ways that that we can do that. But I think that we need this more than at any other time. And so let's be people who respond by coming together and really recognizing this is a great time and a great moment to be that, to be a community of strength and hope and healing. In terms of where we've landed, we've landed here with this. We're going to continue to have our online gathering and in-person gathering just the same at 9 a.m. We are going to change things up a little bit during the gathering and comply. And I'll talk a little bit about why we're going to comply here in just a minute. But we're still requiring masks. We're asking everybody to mask up. When I go to Mod Pizza, I've always enjoyed their little slogan, mask up. When you walk in the door, there's a sign on their front door. So everyone needs to mask up. If you don't want to mask up, we just ask that you would stay home and join us online. We have, great improving online experience and community there. So please, if you don't want to wear a mask, join us there. Our youth are continuing to meet on Wednesday nights as well from 6:30 to 8:30. Same thing again. Continue to practice social distancing, masking up, but they're going to have to be a little creative in what they're doing as well. So we're excited about this opportunity to be creative. Nick and Aaron are doing a great job on Wednesday nights, and so we'll continue to meet on Wednesday nights, and just with a few little changes there. We see this as a great opportunity to be creative and to find other ways to express our love for Jesus. Listen, the church is not a building, and it's not a structure, and it's not our liturgy. Those things are things that we practice that help to give shape and form to our community and to our experience. And so we're going to experience a little bit of a shift in that. But I think it's really important to remember this is just temporary. And we're going to just continue to grow and enjoy this moment. So in terms of compliance, there's some things that I think are helpful, that have helped me and will help us moving forward in terms of why we're complying. The first thing has to do with the exceptional circumstances of the moment. These really are exceptional circumstances. They're unlike anything we've ever experienced in our generation. It's very unusual. This is a global pandemic. Right now, there are governments and leaders and churches all over the globe trying to figure out how to respond and the best ways to respond to, to the moment. And we're not an isolated case. We're not an isolated case here in Washington State. This is happening globally. I just had a missionary email and said that Austria is shutting down. So this is impacting lives all over the globe. So very exceptional circumstances. These circumstances will change. Again, this is temporary, but they are what they are right now. And so this helps us to keep this in mind. Also helps us to keep in mind that the church is not the only one being told that we have to do things differently right now. This is affecting businesses and schools and the hospitality industry. I mean, all these different ways in which, you and I have to change things, bring a shift in how we do things. It's affecting lots of people. So in that sense, the church is not being targeted. So that's an important thing to remember, that we're not being asked to do something that others aren't being asked to do as well. Now, I get it. There are certain rules that come into place, and there are people deciding who's deemed essential and not essential, and that definitely muddies the water. I understand all that, but we're all being asked to do our part. The next thing that's so important that we keep in perspective and keep in mind is that we care about people. We are in the people business. We love people. We care about people. And so we're willing to make short-term sacrifices for the greater good. If that means masking up, we're masking up. We're choosing to do the loving thing. Not only that, but we're not being asked to compromise in our faith in any way. We're not being asked to compromise biblically. And then lastly, we want to do the right thing. So all of those things help to provide some structure and some values to the decisions that we're making. Now, might there come a time where we have to make a different choice? If that happens, we'll deal with it then. But it's not now. These really are exceptional circumstances. So I want to just wrap up with this. We have the opportunity to respond in a way that I think is so important in terms of seizing the opportunity in front of us. Let's support local, buying local, doing whatever we can to support local businesses. I have this idea. Maybe we could adopt a local business. I'm not sure who, but maybe you have an idea of something we could do to help support and adopt a local business. But we're going to do whatever we can to support businesses and people here on a local level. That's so huge. And I also want to encourage us here. I know that it feels a little bit like it's the rain it's like it's raining down on our fun. We're having to make shifts and we're having to do things differently. And it's like our fun's being rained down upon, being with people, going to restaurants, having the freedoms and the things that, we usually are able to do, we're not able to do right now. So it's like our fun's being taken from us. It's like we're having to be out in the rain. I remember a time when I was a kid, and when I would get on my BMX bike and I would go out, and I didn't necessarily like being out in the rain all the time, but there were moments and times when I went out in the rain and I searched for every mud puddle I could find just so I could ride my bike through it and get as wet as I could. There have been times where my dad would take us kids out in his van or the truck, and we would go find the biggest mud puddle in a Safeway parking lot that we could, and we just go flying through that. Water's flying off. And I remember one time we got stranded out in the middle of a big mud puddle because the van got flooded. Too much water got into the carburetor. My dad had to call some friends to come and rescue us. I remember a time when I was in 8th grade when I went out for a run, and I enjoyed shorter distances more than longer distance, but I remember this particular day, it was just the right temperature. I was getting wet, but it wasn't affecting me, and I remember there was just so much joy in that moment on that run that day. It may feel like it's raining, and we don't know when it's going to stop, and that may be impacting us in so many different ways. But I just want to encourage us in the moment, go look for that mud puddle, get on your bike, go for a run, go dance in a mud puddle. Let's metaphorically do whatever we can to see the good in our situation, to recognize that we have an opportunity to make the best of what is. So as the rain continues to pour and come down on us, let's be those kind of people that find good, that look for good, that find ways to enjoy, to have a little fun in the rain. I love you. Praying for you. Hope you're praying for us. And know that we want what's best for our church and for you. And let's continue to be all that Jesus wants us to be. There's an incredible mission field in front of us. Let's live on mission and be the people Jesus wants us to be. You guys are amazing. Have a great day.